it's so important. Sometimes when you hear what some private employers can do, it's sad in terms of these things.
It's even worse than what the
yes, because they find it as their work, and therefore they can employ anytime and dismiss you anytime. But there are certain rules that generally they must comply with, and we pray that they learn these things so that they play the game according to the rules.
Okay, so can we move on then to the next provision?
Yes, then we have Article 24. Article 24 has got some two very interesting things, or three. It says that every person has the right to work under satisfactory, safe, and healthy condition, and shall receive equal pay for equal work without distinction of any type. So now we are talking about, first of all, safe environment.
Very important.
Yeah, very, very important. I mean, you must provide workers with safe working environment so that that they are not exposed to medical dangers. I mean, like some pollution of some sort, or I mean, just there are some workplaces you go, it's serious. All right, but the law says that they have the right to satisfactory, safe, and healthy conditions. So it becomes an obligation of an employer to ensure that you provide healthy conditions for your workers to work in. You can go to some places that you can see that they need air conditioners, and the employer feels
the environment must be very conducive.
Yes,
for the work to be done.
Yes.
Okay, and the other tier to equal pay
for equal work.
That's very important.
It's very important because that's what brings the aluta at the workplaces.
Okay, so lawyer, let me just cut you off here. We will be taking phone calls on the segment.
Okay.
Just about we have time for just about 2 or 3 phone calls.
No problem.
I believe the phone numbers are on the screen right now. So if you have any questions relating to this topic, labor law, please call in, and lawyer will be happy to answer any questions that you have. Yeah, so right, equal pay for equal work
without distinction. So once we are doing the same work, and then you must pay equally. And it ties down to the earlier one, non-discrimination.
Exactly.
There should not be discrimination at the workplace
when it comes to pay.
Yeah. That's where
if we are doing the same work, we must be paid an equal salary.
Exactly.
One must not earn higher than the other.
Yes.
If it's equal work.
If it is equal work, so that's the thing, you know, and is the duty of the employer. Now, I like this one too. Two, every worker shall be assured of rest, leisure, and reasonable limitation of working hours and periods of holidays with pay.
I like that. I like that too. So we're talking about leave and all those things. Okay, Laura, before we get into that, let's just go to the phone lines now. Good morning, Kwame Nkrumah. Oh, Kwame Nkrumah. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Please go ahead.
Please, I want to ask the lawyer that supposing you are a private teacher and you are about to vacate, and I mean, instead of the director or the headmaster supposed to give you the right incentive, it wasn't given to us. Do you have any right to start as a teacher to intercede or intervene on the teacher's behalf as a worker over there?
Okay, Laura, did you get that?
I didn't get that.
Could you please repeat the latter part of your question? You're going on vacation and the headmaster gives you what?
The headmaster is supposed to give us some incentive for
incentive.
Ourselves.
And he doesn't give it to you?
Yes. Do you have to single yourself as a teacher and intercede on the behalf of the other teachers?
Well,
incentive.
Exactly. I don't know what kind of incentive, but workers and we come to it as we go along. There are some things that are in the conditions of service, some remunerations or some benefits for workers.
Right.
Okay, but if it is not in the conditions of service, and it is more like a bonus, then it's at the discretion of the employer. And I don't think that you have the right to protest if you are not given it. All right.
If it's not laid down, if it's not a laid down condition of remuneration.
Exactly. But he must just make sure that he's talking about what the remedy he wants. No, he's talking about
he wants to act on behalf of the other teachers.
Yeah, whatever action he wants to take, generally he must first of all exhaust internal procedures. It's important. If it's about seeing the headmaster or whoever, he must exhaust internal procedures before he tries to do something beyond
such as go to court or seeking.
Exactly.
Okay, Kwame Nkrumah, I hope your question has been answered. So we're talking about equal pay for equal.
No, we finished
with that one. We're talking about having
leisure and reasonable hours of work, you know, and we'll come to it that basically we are supposed to work 8 hours, okay, and beyond that should be an overtime. but there must be
8 hours.
Yes, a day, okay, on the average, and then then overtime. But now here we have a situation whereby sometimes people are made to work so long without rest. Right. But it's a constitutional right. It says that every
when they say rest, what do they mean? But before we get there, let's go to the phone lines. Good morning, Amma, calling all the way from the Central Region. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Amma, please go ahead with your question.
Yes, I had an issue. I was working with this hospital. It's a private hospital. But we went for a meeting, the workers, and it was found out that some of us were receiving, let's say, 400. Then others were receiving 500. I heard the lawyer saying, we should have equal pay or something. But we've gone to the authorities and complained, but they're not doing anything about it. When we get our pay slip, so that we have different pay, but we all do the same work, equal work, and all that.
Okay, Amma, thank you very
much.
And
we even do extra work.
Oh, okay.
Well, you see, as we go along, people will come to realize that because of the pressure for work, the employers take advantage, all right? And it makes it difficult for workers to protest, all right? Even though the constitutional rights are there and they can enforce it, because of the nature of the market, it's difficult to get work. So once you get work, you try and manage it.
Exactly.
Because what he's saying, if she is right in saying that they do the same work, then according to the constitution, they must get what?
Equal pay.
The equal pay. So if they are not receiving equal pay, then somebody is breaching the constitution.
So what can she do about it?
Well, the normal remedy again, you try the internal one. If it doesn't work, she says that she has told them and they are not remedying it. That means they have to go to court. Okay. But see, employers, as soon as you take...
But isn't there the fear of losing your job when you take your employer to court?
Yes. That's exactly what I was trying to say, that because of the nature of the market, you take the employer to court, you may get some remedies, all right, but not too long. The employer will find other means
of getting rid of you.
And then now here you are back to unemployed. So people sometimes just keep to it. But well, it's for us to let them know the law, and then it's for them to
decide what to do about it. Okay, so we're talking about employees having access to rest. So I was asking you, what do you mean by rest? Is it the normal Saturday and Sunday rest, or even during the week, or during your work hours, you're entitled to some kind of rest?
The law says, we'll come to it, that you should not work continuously for like 8 hours or 9 hours. There must be a break. Okay.
If you're working 8 hours?
Yes. So normally, you see that the normal working hours, we start in the morning, somewhere around 12, 1, we have a break.
Okay,
and then
like a lunch break.
A sort of. Okay. It's important. All right.
Okay. Then please, let's go to
the phone. It talks about holidays.
The phone lines one last time. We've got David from East Legon. Good morning, David.
Good morning.
Please go ahead with your question.
Okay. My wife has been working with a company, an agency. And since then, she started this work about 2 months ago. She has not been paid. And when the last time I asked her to go and ask why she has not been paid, she was telling me, the boss was telling her she's going to close down the place because of, I don't know what reason. And I was asking, what about her pay? Because as she started this job, a lot must go into it before even she started the job. So I want to ask a lawyer, what are the measures we take against this man?
All right.
Thank you very much, David. I'm
it's
sure
a
you got that.
fundamental duty of an employer to pay.
Right.
It's so fundamental. That is why you're an employer. Once you've asked somebody to offer a service, then you must pay the person. And it's the right of the worker to demand his pay. So if you're not paying, it's a right the person gets in law that he can enforce against you at any time.
And this has been for 2 months. He hasn't received pay for 2 months.
It's not fair. It's not fair.
Okay. And now the employer is saying that he's going to be closing down the business.
Fine, whether he closed down the place or not, so long as the person worked for that period and the right has accrued, as the right to that pay, that month for pay, then she can enforce it. All right. And that the further you close that, because it's a liability that you've incurred. Somebody has spent hours, service, efforts in yourself. You must pay the person. If you don't pay the person has this right that he can enforce. And it's unfortunate that sometimes
what can she do now? Same, go internally if it doesn't work.
It's like that. But whichever it is, it's a right. And so sometimes you put pressure. You call, you go there, etc.
Can she ask for interest?
Well, if it gets to court, and we said, like, you're supposed to be paid so much by December, 2013, you are not being paid. The anytime the court give the order, the court will give you interest on that amount for the period and beyond it. Yes,
okay.
But I think that they must try and push and sort it out.
Okay.
And,
so David's wife must seek internal remedies.
Yes, must push for it.
If she must go to court. Okay, so we're talking about the rest.
Yes, and we're talking about holidays. You know that slowly now, when it's holiday, people still work. I don't know what I've noticed.
When you say holidays, what do you mean?
Public holidays.
We were working on the 25th. We worked all through our Christmas. I hope the bosses here are watching.
Sandra, you're not
yes, we worked on the 25th. We worked on the 26th. We worked on the 1st. No, but we love what we do.
Then the bosses must compensate. Because
I like the sound of that.
Yeah, because it's a public holiday. But these days, especially in the private sectors, they just make workers work on public holidays without any remuneration or compensation. No. If it's a public holiday, you must give workers holiday.
Hey, please say that one again.
Well, it is the law I'm reading. Yes, but you're also looking at the law. I'm saying that.
I'm sure Amanana and Benny are very happy about this aspect of the program right now.
Well,
so please just repeat that.
So basically, we are saying that the law says that workers are entitled to rest, leisure, reasonable limitation to working hours, and periods of holiday with pay as remuneration for public holidays. So when they work on public holidays, that means that you must pay them
extra.
Right. You must pay them extra. You don't say that, well, you are my worker anyway. So no, if it's a public holiday which is supposed to rest, then when the person comes to work, then the person is entitled.
And you said something about holidays and with going on holidays with pay.
Yes, that's what the law says. She says that
that's outside of the normal public holidays. We're talking about if you go on an
yes. We're talking
break.
Yes, vacation. Everybody, there's a leave period for everybody,
and
you
must be paid.
You must be paid during the leave period.
Okay.
Yes, I mean if it's 1 month period that you have as a worker, you must be paid. The employer cannot say that way you are not coming to work. And you are entitled to it. You are entitled to leave, and then you must be paid during the leave hours. So these are very important things that it must fairly be complied with.
Okay. Is there any provision on children, or did you have any other?
Well, okay, if you want something on children, the law provides in Article 28. 28 talks a lot about children's rights. But when we come to the area of work, 28.2 says that every child has the right to be protected from engaging in work that constitutes a threat to his health, education, or development. So it means that when you employ children, then you must be extra careful.
Children, when we say children.
Now the law also defines a child that a child is a person below the age of 18.
Okay.
But again, if you go to the Children's Act, you realize that it says that no child below the age of 15 can be employed. So that means that
so we are talking between 15 and 18.
That's the thing, because you can't employ somebody, a child below the age of 15. And if you employ a child above 15 but below 18, then the law says that you must be extra careful to make sure that you don't give him work that is a threat to his health.
Right.
All right. And I think that one, from the medical perspective, children must be catered.
You shouldn't overwork the child. You shouldn't give them work that is too much for them to do.
I think so.
Okay. So children are protected as well.
Yes, more under the law.
And that is very good. I think this would be a good point to end for today.
Okay.
And we'll pick it up again next week. Thank
you
so very much.
There are more rights.
There are more provisions, right?
Okay. That we must look at.
Thank you so very much for your time.